I am Robert Caldwell, owner of Caldwell Cigar Company. I wanted to share with you guys today some details about my project called Lost and Found. Lost and Found is a concept that started about 6 or 8 months before Caldwell. And this was something that we created completely on accident. So something that I've always enjoyed working with a variety of manufacturers. I always go to their factories and always look for aged product or things that have been discontinued, things that have kind of gotten lost over the years, and really enjoy finding things. And for personal consumption, asking for a cigar, asking for a bundle. So when I was working on Caldwell, I was visiting several factories down in Dominican Republic, and I'd say, hey, what happened to this cigar you used to have or that cigar? And always on the way out the door, they'd give me a little bundle for me to take back and enjoy. And on one of my trips, I visited a particular manufacturer and they gave me some fantastic cigars. And then I took a flight up to visit Tony Bellato, the owner of La Barba Cigars in Ohio. And I shared the cigars with him just to sit down, a couple guys, consumers, enjoying product. And he said, man, these cigars are amazing. Where'd you get them? And I mentioned where I got them. And he said, what are they? And I told him what they were. And he said, no way. And I said, yeah. And he said, well, that cigar hasn't been made for X amount of years. And I said, no, I know. And he said, how'd you get it? And I'm like, oh, I asked them. And they gave it to me. And he said, can you get more? I don't know. So anyways, I ended up calling the factory and I said, do you have any more of these? And they said, sure. And I said, can I buy them? Because I want to sell them to a friend of mine. And they said, yeah, no problem. So Tony also has some retail stores, so he wanted to take them and put them in the store. So I asked Tony, what are you going to do with these cigars? And he said, I don't know. They're amazing. They need to find a home. So somebody needs to smoke these outside of us and outside of them sitting in the factory. So Jacqueline Sears, who worked for us and then went on to work for Drew Estate and now works in a different industry, but she had this great idea of coming up with just completely ridiculous concepts. So things that I thought were completely insane at the time. Let's come up with branding that's descriptive of the cigar, but also fun, and to kind of breathe new life into these forgotten products. So they bring in these bundles, and one comes in black, one comes in brown, and one comes in white paper. And she comes up with these crazy concepts. So we had one that was called Lost Reserve, which was a classic brand name. We had one called Pepper Cream Soda and one called One Night Stand. So Pepper Cream Soda was meant to be descriptive of the profile of that cigar. So it was a peppery cigar that was creamy, that was kind of like sparkly on your tongue, like you would have a carbonated beverage in a very weird way. One Night Stand, that was Jacqueline's concept. So it was a pack with a nightstand on it. And then Lost Reserve was just a very, very special Lancero that was an incredibly small amount of cigars, something like 50. So we stuck them in Tony's store, and they kind of sat there for a little while because it was such a weird concept that, nobody gravitated toward it. And then somewhere in the course of the next several months, guys started to find out that we had these products at Tony's store. So they started to call, and can I get them? And Tony calls me one week, and he's like, man, we sold all that stuff this week. I was like, okay. And it wasn't that many cigars. We started, with not much ambition, just kind of as a fun thing. And he said, can we get more? And I said, no, those are all gone, but let me see what there is. So I started, trying to find more cigars. And I'm a cigar manufacturer, but I'm a consumer at heart. I love cigars. I love trying new stuff. I like smoking new stuff, and particularly like very aged cigars. So I started, kicking around and seeing what I could find. And then we'd release another concept, different name, different blend, different size, different vintage, and continued from there. So Lost and Found slowly kind of just started rolling when Caldwell was really exploding. And then Lost and Found started really moving. And over the course of the years, we've done a ton of different concepts. We've done a lot of special things. We've done a lot of really small things. We've done some bigger things. And it's grown, and it's been a really cool thing because it gives a consumer an opportunity to try either something that's no longer available in terms of blend or tobacco, or something that's been discontinued and then been aged, or sizes that have fallen out of favor that you can't find anymore that also have been aged. So you can get something, that's very, very well aged in a way that's very hard to find unless you're really scavenging a humidor and looking for something, and give it to them at a fair price. So a lot of the product that we bring in, it's stuff that, would have been normally much more expensive than it is at the end price of the Lost and Found product to consumer. And then Lost and Found last year really took a U-turn during the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic. We wanted to do something, and we wanted to kind of pivot the model to where we started supporting other things. So this has always been a project of fun between friends. And we've always shared it with consumers and retailers as a project of fun between friends. So at the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic, we wanted to see what we could do. And our pivot was planned to start supporting underfunded charities and things like that we thought were important. So we started at the beginning of last year with a project called No Free Lunch at the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic. And then all the proceeds of that cigar sale ended up going to provide money to underfunded soup kitchens and, food banks and stuff like this. And then we continued rolling, and we did Plume, we did Malditos, the original Malditos release, and other products. And we did urban education initiatives. We did initiatives for Toys for Tots. We did one for Tower to Tunnel Foundation 9/11. We did another one called El Pavo, which ended up being a project which fed 5 people per pack sold for Thanksgiving. So it kind of blossomed in a really, really cool project where every pack sold benefits something. As we continue to roll out brands, we'll have different initiatives tied to different products, and it's a really fantastic opportunity for consumer to try cigars that otherwise would be very, very hard to get your hands on. So a lot of cigars that we have, they're aged 4, 5, 6 years. Sometimes we have 12, 13, 14-year-old cigars. The one caveat to the brand is if you like what I like, you're probably going to like Lost and Found, because Lost and Found is something where if it hits my palate, I like it, I buy it, I pack it, I sell it. So this release is called Pepper Cream Soda. This is our first brand we ever did under Lost and Found. It's a personal favorite of mine, and I think it's probably the brand that put Lost and Found on the map. Over the last several years, we've had a couple different pepper cream soda release concepts. They've all been largely around the same product, but different vintages, different sizes, with the exception of one very small batch that we got that was slightly different. So this one here is the pepper cream soda San Andres. So it's got a very light San Andres wrapper, which you can see a lot of guys are like, that's not San Andres, but it is. It's just a really, really light wrapper. These are gorgeous cigars. As you guys know, Maduro is not necessarily my go-to cigar. So the beautiful, amazing thing with this cigar, when I smoked this cigar, I completely fell in love. And I brought back a wheel of 25 from the factory, along with several other cigars to sample and see what I thought. And I just couldn't stop smoking it. So I smoked, I think, 25 cigars consecutively, not in one sitting, but over the course of a week, I sat down and smoked 25 of these things. So it's a beautiful, beautiful cigar. It's medium bodied, it's balanced. It's got a dynamic, very, very interesting flavor. It's smooth, it's creamy. It's exactly what is pepper cream soda, but Maduro version. So this one's coming out available in a variety of sizes, but I would strongly suggest, counter to popular opinion on sizes, the Torpedo is something special. So that cigar in particular, I think, just exemplifies the blend in a beautiful way. And then proceeds from this cigar go to Camilla's House in Miami, which is an initiative that helps homeless people. So it's housing, clothing, education, medical attention, these types of things. So get your hands on this. I think this might be the best Lost and Found we've ever released. It's just an amazing cigar. So this is Malditos Bastardos Habano 2000 wrapper. This is a continuation of a line that we brought out last year that was called Malditos Bastardos. That one had a Sumatra wrapper. Fantastic cigar that we brought out last year. The problem was it was a very small quantity. It was also very well received because it was hard to find a full-size, authentic Sumatra wrapper cigar. And we brought that out. It evaporated the minute it hit the market. So we brought back out this one this year, Habano 2000 wrapper. 2017 vintage on this cigar. Available in a variety of sizes as well. This cigar is going to be medium-bodied, earthy, also creamy, smooth. It's got a little bit of spice on the finish. So it's a very, very nice, well-balanced, medium-bodied cigar. And again, with this cigar, we're also donating to Camilla's House of Miami. So it's part of the same initiative on this project. So the last one, which is a very fun project, is called Buck 15. And this actually has 3 wrappers, 3 completely different cigars, 3 completely different manufacturers. Unfortunately, I'm missing one of them. So I have here with me today Buck 15 Cubra. Cubra is a Brazilian wrapper, full-bodied, full-flavored, very rich. And I was kind of mentioning a minute ago that I smoke a lot of the same profile product, and I think a lot of Lost and Found falls in the same profile. I was given this cigar to try. It's not in my wheelhouse of things that I would normally smoke. It's not something that I would normally reach for. But when I smoked it, it blew my mind. It was such a dynamic, different, interesting, like compelling cigar. And it was, again, a cigar that I kept smoking and smoking more to understand it than anything, because it was a lot of flavor in that cigar that I hadn't tasted before. That's a really, really cool cigar. And it's just different. It's just a different blend, different concept, different style. And to me, something very unique that gave me a curiosity, and I wanted to continue understanding the cigar. So I kept smoking the cigar. That being said, I still haven't figured the cigar out, so I look forward to when this shipment comes in that I can, kind of keep working on it. But it was just a really cool experience. And I had the same experience when I first tried Negrito tobacco that we use on our King is Dead brand, where it took me a while. Like, you sit curiously smoking the cigar quietly by yourself, constantly looking at the cigar, trying to figure out what's going on and what's hitting your palate. And that was a very cool experience that happened to me with this cigar, so I had to bring it in. And then here we have a Habano. They're two different vintages, two different blends, two different manufacturers. And then here we have a Habano. This is a 2019 vintage. This cigar is amazing. It's super dynamic. It's got more spice to it, so it's definitely like a true medium body with a little bit of flair, but also incredibly balanced, very sophisticated, beautiful cigar. So these are great products. They have very fun packaging. It's a little bit risque, but it's what we do. So I hope you guys enjoy these cigars. They're just absolutely fantastic. And by the way, this stuff's going to be available in just a couple weeks. So we keep having problems with customs getting packing material down. But as soon as that's resolved, we'll have the goodies. So thank you guys for your support. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for continuing to support Pravada and our brands through Pravada. You guys are an absolutely amazing network to be a part of, both the company and the consumers behind it. I think that the things that are happening in the industry right now with you guys is just phenomenal. So thank you for your support.